What's up guys, my name is Chad Nicholas and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the graphic novel, Batman 3 Jokers. I included this in my graphic novel haul video a while back, and a lot of people act like they wanted me to review it, so here it goes. So yeah, firstly I just want to show off what the cover looks like. Make sure I do different angles in case the light does it. So that's the cover, this is the back. The artwork on the cover and the back is amazing. And then underneath the slipcover, there's this, which is just also really cool. So yeah, I like that there's artwork underneath the slipcover. And then on the inside of the slipcover, you have this. But yeah, so with the cover out of the way, let's get on with the review. So I'm going to be kind of talking about the concept of the book, like what the general concept is and how it goes. And then I'll be reviewing the artwork and then the characters and then all that stuff afterwards. So this is also going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to be spoiling anything beyond what you'd learn from reading the synopsis on the back. So yeah, I might touch on some like themes and stuff, but as far as actual stuff, I'm going to try to avoid spoiling this as much as possible because I know this is a newer book, so it's one that a lot of people might not have read yet, and it's definitely one you don't want spoiled. So yeah, so as far as the concept goes, I think the main issue people might have with this book is if you have trouble with the concept of there being 3 Jokers, it's going to be a little difficult to read. Because it doesn't really go out of its way to explain everything and be like, oh, this is how there have been 3 Jokers the whole time. It mainly just introduces the concept that there are 3 Jokers, and then just, you take that as a fact, you go from there. So, I didn't really have any issues with the concepts. Me personally, I treated it like it was an Elseworlds story in the DC Comics. It's not in main continuity, it's not trying to explain that there have always been 3 Jokers in every Batman comic book ever. It's its own thing. It's basically a concept book of what if there were 3 Jokers, this might be what's happened. So that's how I read it, that's how I think it works the best. As far as the book itself, so the main story basically revolves around Batman has learned that there have been 3 Jokers and that there have always been 3 Jokers. And then he sets off an investigation trying to find the Jokers and trying to figure out why there are 3, who the 3 are, and how to stop the 3 different Jokers. So my favorite thing about this book is how it handled the 3 Jokers themselves. My main fear was that the 3 Jokers would either be so similar that it was pointless to have 3 because it's basically 3 clones of the same person, or that they would be so different that none of the 3 would really feel like Joker, or one would and then the other 2 would be like, it'd be unbelievable that they were all 3 able to do it at the same time. And this book really managed to somehow strike a balance where the 3 main Jokers, they were each different in their own way, even from the way they're designed. Like, to show you a piece of artwork that kind of gets what I'm saying. Let me find it. One moment. So like here, even the way the 3 Jokers are designed, you have the criminal who's more serious looking, the clown which has more of a brighter purple jacket, and then you have the comedian. All 3 you can distinguish just based on their looks, but they all still look completely like the Joker. That's kind of how I think best to describe their characters within the book. They're all 3 different sections of what the iconic Jokers have been, but each one of them has one specific personality trait turned up. The clown is a little more of the campiness type Joker, but he's still very intimidating and threatening when he needs to be. The comedian, I think, is more of the killing joke, that kind of classic, what you think of when you think of Joker. And then the criminal is more of the Jack Nicholson early Batman comics where he's more gangstery and more that type of thing. And all 3 play really well because none of them are only that, but that's just the main thing that worried me, that they wouldn't nail the three different Jokers, but I think they handled all three in a way where all three completely felt like the Joker and still felt different enough that when you had all three in a scene, it was like three different characters talking to each other and not just the same person talking to himself. And then my second favorite thing about the book was there were three Jokers that they're going after, so I thought it was a really cool concept to have paralleling to them, if paralleling is a word, have three heroes going after them. So it follows Batman as he starts the investigation, but it also has Barbara Gordon and Jason Todd, who are probably the two people that Joker's hurt more than anyone else in the DC continuity, except maybe Commissioner Gordon. I would make that argument that he's been screwed over a lot more. But yeah, so it brings those three, Batman and then the two characters whose Joker's hurt, to be the three characters that are going after the three different Jokers. And just the dynamics that they found between conversations that the Bat family has with the Jokers, specific dynamics. One scene in particular, which I can't say for spoilers, but it's a scene earlier, it's in the first third of the book, between Red Hood and one of the Jokers. I really, really love that scene and how it played out and the context and everything that was said. So I really liked how that was done. I especially liked the dynamic they created between Barbara Gordon and Jason Todd, because they both found just the stories that they both go on because of the Jokers that they're hunting down. Their stories tied together really well and really contrasted with Batman, so I really like that angle the book took as well. One thing I'll say on the book that was one thing I'm a little more iffy about is how it kind of handled some of the big revelations. Like I said, if you're expecting this book to really sit down and answer every single detail of how has there been three Jokers, why are there three Jokers, where do they come from, who are they? Not that it doesn't give any answers, but it's not like just the most intricately thought out, everything explained. It's more of they have fun with the concept without boiling, like it explains some. I'm not saying it doesn't explain things, but they don't like go into massive detail. It's just you get the concepts and then you go from there. I would have liked to have a little more explained and like them to have done a tad bit more with the like scope of if there have been three Jokers for this many years, what has it meant all these years instead of mainly exploring this. But that's a small complaint, and it's just mainly because I really like lots of details tied up. But yeah, overall, aside from that, I think where the story ends up going and how it ends with the three Jokers is really interesting, and I'm really glad they decided to go that way with it. But I can't completely review this book without mentioning the artwork. The artwork by Jason Fabok, I think. Jeff Johns did the story, Jason Fabok did the artwork, and I want to say Brad Anderson did the inking, but I might be wrong on that last one. But the artwork is just phenomenal. Like, this is a page that doesn't really spoil a lot if you can see it. Just, the artwork within this book is incredible. Like, even the shark, which I'm glad made a return from the animated series. But yeah, even the shark is awesome. Just, the artwork in this is the perfect mix of like, it felt very similar to Jim Lee. Felt very similar to Jim Lee style artwork where it's new, updated, but just looks really, really iconic and still really, really cool. So I just think the artwork's incredible, and the artwork with the story they have, I think they just managed to make a really fun little story about what if there were three Jokers. How would that be handled? And then one specific investigation into the three Jokers. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Let me know in the comments if there are any other Batman graphic novels you want me to review, or any graphic novels in period. I read more than just Batman. But yeah, let me know if there are any you want me to read and review, and I'll see you guys next time.